Hey guys, what's up? I am here to give you guys a recap on the new episode of One Piece, which is on episode 910. And this is where we get to see the revelation of Kinemon and his group, of where they came from. And they did say in last episode that they came from Wano Country 20 years ago. Of course, the episode starts off with its long recap after its opening, so I ain't gonna talk about that. But we're gonna get into the part where Kinemon is talking about Oden. He therefore starts the story of how Oden came to be. At a young age, eventually when he reached to a certain age, he would later on be banished from his own hometown because of his violent and carefree tendencies of causing trouble. Eventually, he will later on hear about a land or lawless area called Kuri. And we get to see how Oden became very well known throughout Wano Country is because he managed to get Kuri and its residents to obey him. He will later on actually take on an enemy known as Ashura Doji, which he managed to defeat beautifully. But of course, instead of killing them outrightly or something, he decides to reform them and manages to have them make Kuri into a good land where it's prosperous, it's not filled with blood and tears and death all over the place. And eventually he will later on see to it that everyone's happy and go lucky and have a lot of laughter instead of sadness and blood, lust and death. But of course, eventually, as time continues on, he will later on meet Inugarashi and Nekomamushi and actually invite them inside Wano Country without discrimination, which is really nice of him. It's really cool. But things kind of gotten a little bit out of hand eventually as time continues on. Some guy named Orochi and Kaido will later on team up together to take down Oden and his country and bring it down to his knees. And what makes it worse right now is that after Oden was executed or killed, he will later on be branded a criminal, and that just only damages his name, and whoever talks about Kozuki, etc., is known to be a criminal. This really upsets Luffy. This causes Nami and everyone else to be in shock and tears. Well, Luffy was totally raged up, by Kaido and Orochi for doing that kind of stooped up garbage filthy act, And eventually, how Kinemon and Raizo, along with Kanjuro, they somehow managed to travel through time thanks to Toki-sama. Because of her ability of going into the future is what makes her able to meet Oden-sama, etc. And she manages to send Momonosuke and Kanjuro along with Kinemon and Raizo to the future. Eventually, they did want to share the same fate with her because they failed to protect Oden or help him out, but she decides to use her power to tell them to go into the future and make things right. And Kinemon says, if we do this, we are going to make Oden's wish come true and open Wano Country's borders once and for all to the entire world, And this is where things gotten really tense from here on out, because when they arrive 20 years later into the future, they will later on find out that whoever spoke the name Kozuki or Oden, they will be slandered or be called a criminal because he is literally labeled as a criminal. And they will end up seeing factories in Wano and be really shocked. Not to mention they would be attacked by other people, but later they will find out that there will be some people actually admired Oden still and actually wants to help out and fight back and take back the land that Orochi and Kaido brought upon to its knees, to the ground very badly. So yeah. So this episode was just the backstory of Kinemon talking about of how Oden came to be and how his death was set up by Orochi and Kaido and was labeled as a criminal, and much more to come after that, man. What the heck? Don't know what's bound to happen next for these guys, but one thing for sure, there'll be more backstory coming up in the next episode of One Piece. So until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Officer Little People. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot toot.